Hello everyone, Tucker here. All of us at MassEffectFollower recently enjoyed the movie Paragon Lost, which is a Mass Effect movie that follows James Vega before the events of Mass Effect 3. While it isn't perfect, Mass Effect Paragon Lost certainly had its moments, and those moments are what I want to go over. For those of you who don't know, Mass Effect Paragon Lost is an animated movie that was released in 2012 and produced by BioWare, Funimation, TO Entertainment, and animated by Production IG. The movie takes place during the events of Mass Effect 2. The movie follows James Vega and his group of Marines as they are stationed on Fel Prime, and the Collectors attack the colony. Some amazing moments happen in the movie, and I would like to go in detail about them. Before I really get into this list, I do want to mention that there will be spoilers ahead. I also want to state that the list is not in order of importance, but rather in order of the events that take place in the movie. Now that you are warned, let's get right into it. What a better way to start off the list than with the opening fight in the movie. James's group is set to fight against some Blood Pack members that are attacking the colony. You are introduced to all of the members in the group and get to witness James' leadership skills. The fight scene is pretty amazing as you see the Engineer Marine controlling his combat drone, while the Adept Marine is using his powers, and the Infiltrator is doing his best to provide covering fire with his sniper. The fight scene that happens between Vega and the Blood Pack group leader Archuk is pretty great too. Definitely a great way to start the movie. As the story progresses, we get to learn about the colony and some of the colonists who live there. Getting to know some of these characters makes the Collector attack on the base that much more interesting, as we are hoping for the colonists to be safe and escape. But from what we know of the Collectors in the game, we already know their fate. Seeing Vega and his group try to fend off the Collector's initial attack and coming across characters that are paralyzed by the Seeker Swarm is a very intense scene, as you don't know if all of them are going to make it. This scene also shows you just how ruthless the Collectors are, that when they come in, they mean business. In an attempt to destroy the Collector ship, the group charge up the anti-ship cannon and plan to use it on the ship. While the cannon is charging, Tria, the Asari anthropologist that lived on Fel Prime, suggested that if they fire the cannon before it is fully charged, the ship might be damaged, while the colonists inside might not be harmed. Sadly, the plan doesn't work, and the Collectors destroy the cannon in a scene that would make Michael Bay jealous. Not only that, but it made the Collectors aware that Vega's group was there and sent Seeker Swarms at them. This caused the death of Camille, who got captured by the Collectors and later got processed into a Praetorian, and the paralyzation of Essex. There were many deaths of the group in the movie, but none of them had the impact that Nicky's death had. Nicky was a timid and shy character that was the engineer of the group. He had a huge amount of respect towards Vega and was also very well voice acted by the talented Josh Grell, who has lent his voice to over 100 other animated projects. Nicky's death happens after they administer a cure to Essex to the Seeker Swarm paralyzing attacks, which was discovered by Nicky. The cure doesn't seem to work, and the group is attacked by a Praetorian. The group attempt to flee the area in a shuttle and the Praetorian attacks. The Praetorian attacks the shuttle, and Nicky shoves Vega out of the way of an incoming claw attack and gets stabbed through the stomach. Out of nowhere, biotics start raining down from above, and Essex appears and helps the group defeat the Praetorian. As Nicky is dying from his wound, he sees that Essex was cured, and he urges Vega to save the colonist. Nicky's death was, although not the most cheery moment of the movie, definitely one of the highlights in the storytelling aspect of the film. Messner was a character that was first introduced as a traveling merchant who sells hardware around the galaxy, but it is later revealed that he is a Cerberus operative who is tasked with investigating the disappearance of human colonies. While the crew were close to destroying the Collector's drive core, Messner turns and shoots Brood, who is piloting the shuttle. After the shuttle crashes, Messner grabs Tria and runs off with her. You later find out that Messner is actually working for the Collectors, alongside been relaying information to Cerberus about the Collectors. What makes this scene so amazing is that you learn about how the Elusive Man knew so much about the Collectors, while they were supposedly only a myth. This also added more conflict in a situation that already seemed impossible. Messner doesn't go on too long though, as he dies while the group are leaving the Collector ship. Now we know that the collectors were actually Protheans that were captured by the Reapers and reprocessed to be their slaves, but never have we been shown that. While Tria is being held captive by Messner, he forces her to activate an old Prothean archive that shows the Protheans' last stand, and their transformation into the collectors. This was definitely a fascinating scene, as, like I mentioned before, we have never been shown this process being done. Now this is definitely the biggest moment in the movie. The final conflict of the movie has both Tria, who is stuck in a pod, and the collector ship that holds the colonists plummeting back to the planet, and Vega only has time to save one. He is torn between saving those who he was supposed to protect and the woman who he has fallen for. The scene is very intense, as you can see that Vega is finding the decision to be very difficult, but he ends up going to save Tria, meaning the colonists all perished with the collector ship crashing back on the planet. This scene is replayed a few times, from different views, including a viewpoint from inside the collector ship where we can see the colonists panicking and begging James to help them. This scene was definitely the most intense scene in the entire movie, and helped define the title of Paragon Lost. That is it for some of the most amazing moments in the movie Mass Effect Paragon Lost. Some moments that we here at MassEffectFollower liked but didn't think made it to the cut were the Liara cameo in the movie, which happens when the group find a device. Tria communicates to Liara about it, and she predicts that it might be related to Reaper tech. Another moment is April's fate, who is a little girl who looked up to Vega. We see her paralyzed body during the initial attack, and after the collector ship crashes, we see Vega find her stuffed bunny, and it shows him even more the consequence of the choice he made. And finally, about how well defined each class were in the movie. You could just look at the person and know what class they are, which to me personally was pretty amazing and impressive. So what are your opinions on Mass Effect Paragon Lost? If there were to be a Mass Effect live action movie, what would you want it to be? Let us know in the comments down below, and while you are there, give this video a like and hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you in the next video.